this time he got to come home, right? Well, today we've got this rumor, this speculation that Pooh Shiesty somehow cooperated in his case coming back to light. And of course, this is thanks to Wack100, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but back about 3-4 years ago when all this first went down, Wack100 had claimed this exact same thing. He was like, oh, Pooh Shiesty, I got paperwork on him. Just like Wack says about anybody, right? It's getting to the point with Wack100 where if you're a human breathing air, Wack100 probably has paperwork on you. If Jesus was resurrected and walked the earth again, Wack100 would swear to God he has paperwork on Jesus. But I see this topic is making more headlines. People are starting to talk about it again because Wack100 went over on academics live stream, and basically now that Pooh Shiesty is released, he reapproached the situation. Right. So before we talk about it, I just want to play y'all the clip.
We got to get the official certification. I announced it on the gram. We have Pooh Shiesty who's back home, and he's the only rapper of recent time who came home, never snitched. Is that true or not? The exposers, I heard they did a whole thing on it. We need to know what's the deal.
Well, here goes the thing. You know, I had his attorney 11 months ago on my channel.
Really?
Yeah, I sent you the link. You got the link. I did the disposal was we had his attorney, but he made some points. We made some points, but the point that he had to clear up, he was supposed to send the paperwork, and he gave me his word he was gonna send it, and he never sent it. Now I will tell you this. I looked at my phone today, and the exposer's been working overtime, and they got all kind of new paperwork.
Wait, what?
And I ain't ready. But the way they talking crazy on this text blast, hold on, I'm gonna send it to you so you see it. I ain't ready. They been working.
Wait.
You think I'm fucking around? Hold on, what? You think I'm fucking around? Bro, I haven't, listen, well, you're gonna see, they let me know, hey, we got a motherfucking problem. And they serious, and I'm gonna be, look at your text, right? So I gotta go in tomorrow and see. Look,
yo, Wack, y'all got niggas circling shit on paper.
Bro, this is a real motherfucking operation, bro. Nigga, I got 51 spies. Then you got the exposers. We got paralegals. We got attorneys. We got motherfucking PI. We got all. Bro, you looking at? Am I capping? Look, I haven't even had a chance to respond but once. You see, they at me. Look, you reading it. They got the PDFs. I don't even want to open the PDFs.
Yo, Wack.
They done found everybody proffers.
Wack, please just delete this message thread, man.
Bro,
Pooh Shiesty,
whoever victim 1 and 2 is, listen, bro. Look, you see what I'm saying. I haven't even had a chance to address it, but I will tell you this, that when we had his attorney on, didn't I send you the link?
Okay, so as you can hear, Wack100 is heavily implying that he has some type of paperwork on Pooh Shiesty, right? It's crazy that this is making its way around the news cycle right now, because like I said, this actually happened 3 years ago. Wack100 went through this exact same process. And it all basically comes from an excerpt from the paperwork where everybody involved took plea deals. Wack100 is basically like, there's a lot of names in his plea deal. He admitted to a lot in that plea deal, so he snitched. And the excerpt said, as part of the plea, Williams Jr., that's Pooh Shiesty, admitted to participating in the conspiracy on the following 3 occasions. First, on July 7, 2020 in Memphis, Pooh Shiesty was inside a car when an occupant of the car discharged a firearm at a gas station. Second, on October 9th in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, Pooh Shiesty and his co-conspirators arrived at a meeting to acquire marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. During the meeting, members of Williams' group brandished firearms and assaulted 2 victims. Following the assault, the group departed the scene with the victims' marijuana, codeine, and sneakers. And then third, On May 30th, 2021, Pooh Shiesty assaulted a victim with a firearm at a Miami strip club. Okay, so the part that basically Wack100 has been claiming says Pooh Shiesty snitches, where it said he admitted to participating in these three separate crimes. Except the problem is Pooh Shiesty didn't like just admit to it and give a proffer out and say, oh, I didn't do it. Them dudes are the ones who did it. Everybody here admitted that this is what happened. Everybody that was involved in the case, they all took the exact same plea deal, right? And back 3 years ago, when this all first broke into the news, Pooh Shiesty actually like 100.
Y'all be letting that fat, bald-headed, relevant ass nigga always voice his opinion on shit and shit, man. Man, that shit about John Gangster, cuz. My nigga ain't snitched on no nigga, never been break the fold. Why you think my nigga ain't got no break? Why you think he ain't bounce back out like the rest of these rappers? Fuck you to my nigga. Taking that shit to the chin. You cooperate with rats, nigga. You deal with rats. Come on, man. What are you even speaking on gangster shit?
Not only did Pooh Shiesty respond to this back the first time Wack100 alleged this, but Pooh Shiesty's attorney actually had spoke on this as well. His attorney posted this right here up that says, this is 100% fake news. Wack100. There is no paperwork that will say Pooh Shiesty said a word about anything on anything. In fact, none of the three charged gave proffers on anything about anything having to do with other people. This is just a straight mistruth. They all took pleas to the same crime and one count of a possession of a weapon during a drug crime. None of them gave a proffer about anything. It was a straight plea deal, with all of them having the other three life felony counts dismissed. But why bother with facts? Just throw something out for clicks. This isn't the only time that Pooh Shiesty's attorney spoke on this. Like Wack100 said, he did have a conversation with Pooh Shiesty's attorney on live, where his attorney tried his hardest to clear this up with Wack100, right? But because Wack100 is who he is, he could never be defeated. He'll argue until the air runs dry in his lungs. If he has to, he will spend a solid 12-hour work shift on Clubhouse arguing with somebody until they give up and he can claim he won the argument, right? But here is how that conversation kind of went. Now, this was a 2-hour conversation, so this is just a small part of it, but this is essentially how that conversation went.
This is one of those situations that's a little touchy to me because I know him, I know his family, I know the label we signed to, but I also understand the streets and I understand these YouTubers and the narratives and what they're reading. To my understanding, there's a statement in this document that says, in this case, there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government. Okay? And the world, the streets, when they hear proffer, right, automatically assume cooperation. The verbiage of that is a government factual proffer is a meeting between a criminal defendant or witness and the government where the defendant shares information with the government in exchange for limited immunity. For all of y'all don't know, Napoleon is Pooh Shiesty's actual legal attorney that handled this case. So he has more in-depth paperwork, more in-depth information than what I consider to be shallow. Now, Napoleon, I want you to authenticate, right, that is a line in Pooh's document. In this case, there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government.
That's not a line in any document that I've seen.
I got this from his father, right? This document came from his father. So I want to send it to you. We represent a movement called the Exposers, and we're not here just to expose people on bad shit, but we're here to clear things up.
Okay, so what you're looking at right now is that this is, I don't know if this is the document in his case, but this looks like a legal filing by an attorney. And it just says, in this case, there was a very strong factual proffer made by the government, and the appellant's sworn adoption of this proffer also clearly establishes his guilt of the killing of David Jones. Pooh Shiesty wasn't on trial for the killing of David Jones, so I don't know specifically where this document came from in the case.
Now, Napoleon.
You gotta love how the attorney immediately shut Wack100 down. Like, look, bro, I don't know what document this is you got, but this is about a murder. Pooh Shiesty wasn't even on trial for a murder. You gotta just appreciate how in less than like literally 2 seconds that lawyer shut that whole thing down. But look, let's keep going.
So let me actually read you the factual proffer that was used in the case. It says that the United States of America and the defendant's counsel agree that had this case gone to trial, the United States would have proven the following facts, amongst other, occurred in Miami-Dade County, Southern District of Florida, and elsewhere, beyond a reasonable doubt, and that such facts are sufficient to establish the defendant's guilt to the offenses charged in the indictment. So that is a quote directly from the factual proffer in Pooh Shiesty's case and his co-defendant Bobby Brown's case. Every single defendant in federal court, if they want to plead guilty to the offense charge, they have to sign a factual proffer statement because the courts require defendants to admit to their guilt if they're pleading guilty.
Okay,
if the defendant will not admit to the factual proffer, the judge will force them to go to trial. So a factual proffer is necessary just to plead guilty in the case.
It's your boy Maury. Subscribe.